The big question. This is one of my favorite things to talk about when it comes to the Bible and naturism. Before we get into it, if you're not already a Patreon member, check out the link in the description below. There you can find information on how to support me financially. Mudwalkers is what it is right now because of people like you supporting me on Patreon. So if you would, check out those links in the description and consider supporting me financially. Getting kind of thirsty out here. So the big question starts like this. So if social nudity is so evil, so harmful, and since we know that all around Israel, in say Babylon, Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, the Philistines, Egypt, and the rest of Africa for that matter, and then you've got Asia Minor and Europe, and Rome, Greece, all of these places kind of mingling around Israel in the Old Testament and the New Testament, and public nudity was everywhere in these cultures at the time. So if it was everywhere and so pervasive, and it's so evil and so harmful, how is it that this never came up? There's not a single rule in the Bible about this. Now, the Bible does have rules for what shapes you're allowed to carve your beard into, certain hairstyles that were forbidden to Israel. There were certain styles of cloth weaving that were forbidden in the Torah. You're not allowed to put dairy and meat in the same dish. So we have all of these really nitpicky rules all over the Bible about various things, but somehow this hugely evil, hugely, immensely harmful thing that was all over Israel and just would have been so tempting, somehow just didn't merit mention. I find that far-fetched, and that's one of the biggest reasons why it's clear to me that naturism just is not forbidden, is because, well, it's not forbidden. There is no rule that says do not be naked or do not let people see your body. It's just not there. So regardless of another plane, regardless of other concepts in the Bible, the forbidding just never happened. So the idea that it was so evil and so immoral and so harmful and so pervasive, yet Yahweh never pointed out to the Israelites, by the way, don't do what the Greeks are doing. By the way, don't do what the Romans are doing. By the way, don't do what the Egyptians are doing with clothes. Just make sure you don't do that. Not even once, not even in Isaiah, or like one of the Gospels, or like during Abraham's lifetime. It just doesn't seem to work for me. If I were to go on from here, I would just be rambling, so we know what time it is. This episode of Mudwalkers is brought to you by Nature Him, Todd, Jacob, Brian, Jay Sweets, Edward, John S., Skating Aimlessly, Joseph, Charlie, Lionheart, Liam, Adam, Edward T., Nate, Seaberryman, Shane, Jay Good, Cyan, Reese, John W., Clifton, Darian, the other John S., Vino22, Trev, Jeremy, and Scott. Guys, thank you so much for supporting me on Patreon. You're keeping this bug. You're not keeping the bug. You're keeping my work sustainable. You're making this channel possible. So I just, in general, can't thank you enough for your support. You guys are amazing. Like I've said before, we have a $5 tier and a $10 tier. Both tiers get early access to all my videos. The $10 tier also gets access to Patreon exclusive content, just like, personal updates, behind the scenes content, stuff like that. It's not primary content. I'm not making videos like this one and then making it Patreon only. It's non-essential things the patrons get. It's cool stuff, non-essential. But the $10 tier also, my personal favorite, gets access to a monthly Zoom hangout with me and the other patrons. This is a great time for us to come together and have circular conversations and share stories and swap ideas. Oh, my goodness. Spider. Anyway, I love the Zoom hangout. They seem to be getting better with time. And I'm just excited in general about where Mudwalkers is going. Thanks to you, my patrons. With that, I'll end the video here. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.